What? Hey, what's going on, everybody? How are you guys today? Oh, there it is. What's going on, sir? How are you, man? How's your day? How's your day, Rebecca? You tired, Rebecca? I see that. How are you? How's the kiddos? Renita, what's going on, my dear? How are you? So, I wanted to, I think I'm gonna start kind of putting this out there. Oh wow, okay. I honestly don't think that my son has ever had a, um, hold on one second. Damn, what? Oh, that's what I have to do. My fault. Give me one sec, guys. Okay, there we go. I forgot in order for me to see everybody's posts, I have to go into Facebook to change everything up. And then now it should be popping up there now. So I hope that you guys can see this. is, well, usually when you say something to me or text something or hold on. I was sitting there clearing my throat in the microphone earlier, then I heard myself. I'm like, man, this shit's annoying. That shit's extremely annoying. But so I'm gonna usually keep this here that there's usually a 60-second delay of what I see and hear, and I think that kind of reciprocating with you guys too. So I want to make sure that I kind of keep um this little sign in the background so you guys know that um if I if I take a little bit or if I'm asking you guys a question, hey Renita, how are you? Um if I'm asking you guys a question or something, I'm not asking rhetorically or anything like that or whatever. It's just more or less I can't see anything until it comes up. However long later, my aunt was on last night and she called me back and told me, actually she told me a few things I needed to change up. But one of the first things was, did you know that there's a whole delay? And she said that if somebody is on Facebook, YouTube, and they're posting something, she can't see anything from YouTube standpoint. And I'm like, yeah, that's usually because you're on one platform and that's a different platform. So, but I was like, what I usually do is if a post pops up, I usually put it on the screen so everybody can see it regardless of what uh what platform that you're using or which one you're on. Hey Jessica. So yeah, man. Dude, I think I'm gonna have to. I think that. Give me a second. The more of these that I do, the more I think I'm gonna have to create a routine. I think I'm gonna probably write it down, like first, second, third, fourth, fifth type of things, whatever. Because every time I get started and I want to see you guys' comments, I forget that I have to go into YouTube. No, not YouTube. I have to go into Facebook, change out my the from who sees what. So it's usually for some reason stuck on standard of just friends, right? But I'm trying to get it to the public. So I have to actually go in, publicize it, and then I hit this button, and that's how all of you guys' comments pop up. So I have to call my buddy Brian, who I do the Trial and Error podcast with, about it, because he's the guy that I go to for things that I don't know about this stuff. And he's just kind of like, yeah, unfortunately, that's just kind of the way that this particular thing happens, is that anytime you're on anybody's not stream, but there's another word I'm looking for, platform, there's always going to be some type of give and take. Hey, what's going on, John? All right, that's what's up, buddy. But there's always going to be some type of give and take, unfortunately. So that's just kind of how that works. So today, I think that I think that we're gonna have a pretty good show. This is kind of gonna be I'm testing some stuff out, right? Number one, I'm testing some stuff out, but today we're gonna talk about the 7 signs that this isn't love anymore. And what I mean by that is that I think a lot of us get into these relationships or pseudo relationships, and we're bringing our baggage, we're bringing our childhood traumas and abuse and all kinds of shit and into these relationships, and then we're wondering why they're not working. And then the other person's bringing their stuff, their bag of tricks, their bag of manipulations, their bag of torture skills into the relationship, and then we sit around wondering, why isn't our relationship working? Well, I think we're gonna kind of go into that. And now that's for today. Today is part 1. As you can see the little thing scrolling, it's part 1. right? Part one of, I think, three. Part one is just the problem. We're going to talk about a solution or two, but today we're just going to kind of touch on the problem. And then tomorrow we're going to touch on the strategies and what to do, right? Because a lot of this, I'm not going to lie to you, it comes down to one word only: boundaries. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard me say it: boundaries. And right now, we're going to go ahead and get started. If you don't mind, everybody else will show up eventually. Y'all here, the crew is here. Get started, right? That's kind of what I was thinking. All right. As Jessica just said, let's go. Let's go. So I'll usually tell her what I'm going to talk about before I decide to do something. At first, I was just kind of like, just giving her like kind of like the whole rundown. But then I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I might tell you like the title, because I could tell anybody the title. Hell, I'll even give you the each title of each topic that we're going to discuss. But the innards of what we're going to talk about, I'm going to kind of keep those under wraps. I'm about the Tony Robbins, this type of shit. You know what I mean? If you don't know who he is, you're not going to get the inside joke of me and Mr. Robbins. Anyway, so before we get started, I need to introduce myself, because my aunt said, when I came on there, you didn't introduce yourself. How was I supposed to know who you were? Point taken. So what's going on? My name is Fearless Cummings. I am your neighborhood life coach and your host for the evening. I am a certified life coach, been coaching for about 23 years. On my channel, my job is to give you some tools, tips, techniques, and strategies to overcome certain problems that you may have, or dreams, goals, and aspirations that you've been trying to acquire. Now, with anything else, I also come with a warning. Warning, you say? Yes, warning. Because here's the thing. I'm not here to kiss your ass. I'm not here to do a lot of stuff. My job is to help you. That's it. You either take the help or you don't. That's all it is. Now, if you want to do the work, if you want to take some accountability, pull up, have a seat. If you don't, swipe left and keep it pushing. Are you guys okay with that? That's what I thought. Let's get this party started. All right, so I'm kind of going here. Let me clear my throat right quick. Jessica, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I'm probably gonna start needing some tea when I get on. I was talking to a buddy of mine. He was my buddy Lamar, and ironically enough, he's the one who taught me how to ride a motorcycle. But Lamar is like, you know what, man? As we get older, he said, I like to drink some chamomile tea before I go to bed. I said, really? Yuck. He said, have you tried it? I said, not really. He said, man, you should try that. And now that I think about it, because he says that it warms the throat, and I was like, man, that might be a good idea, especially if I'm getting on here every night and doing this. Yes, ma'am. I think tea might just be amazing for me. It might just be. I'm like, what? Hold on. Let's pull these up. Sorry, yes, Jessica, I think you're right. Tea might be amazing. I'll get some chamomile, kind of figure it out, and probably start drinking some of that. Fuck yes, as Mr. Jerry Baker would say. What say you, Rebecca? Can I get a second? Fuck yes. I don't know if the Baker clan uses the type of profane language that we do around these parts. Camille, chamomile is definitely my favorite. Okay. T Smith. Okay, hold on. T Smith has an almond discontinued tea that is amazing. Rebecca, I would have to ask you, why would you even tell me about something that's discontinued if I can't have it? Tell me about something that's in current production. Because I'm gonna have to go get some if I'm gonna be doing this for the next. What are we at? 15? That means 70. Well, no, excuse me. 85 more shows left. Oh, okay. Is it still discontinued? Hold on, let me put that up there. Is that still discontinued? Okay, so here's the thing. Let's kind of go ahead and get started too while we're doing all this. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is my handwriting that you see in the corner. I am going to go ahead and just tell you that I'm extremely happy today. Can I get a round of applause right quick? Can I get a round of applause? Can I get a quick round of applause? Not it's not discontinued. Okay. Can I get a not discontinued? What? Rebecca. I see you. I see you. What the fuck? Yes, also. Tip of the hat to you, ma'am. Tip of the hat to you. My girl Jessie. How you doing, dear? You were a singer at one time too? Jess, Jesse, what the hell? Dude, we need to talk about that. I mean, let me get started. But you and I need to talk about that. We need to talk about that, Jesse. I'm just saying. I did not know that you were a singer. Goddamn. What did you not do? How about I ask you that? What did you not do? Thank you. So today, it's 15 days. So that is my actual handwriting. Whatever, that is my handwriting. So I met with this lady named Julie Boswick. Boswick? Boswick. And Julie was telling me that she was a part of this show or network marketing company. And she was selling like jewelry and stuff online. And she said that when you get started, she said you need to do three things. That's what they tell her. They said 15 pieces in 15 days for 15 minutes. And they said whatever time you go on, it needs to be the exact same time. Every night, no matter what, for that 15 days. And if you know Julie, like I don't know no Julie, but I know Julie. And hopefully, one of the things that Julie told me, she said I was so scared, I was so nervous about going on, and she said, you know what? One day I just hit that button. I don't even think she even told anybody she was going live. She said I just hit the button, it just went live. I said okay. She said, yeah, I just did it every day for 15 days, for 15 minutes, with 15 pieces. And she said that those 15 minutes started getting longer and longer and longer. The 15 pieces started becoming more, right? The 15 minutes became more than 15 days. I think she went from 15 days to like damn near a year and a half every day. And she was moving that stuff, moving it like metrics, just moving it. And I was just like, man, I was so impressed um by what she was saying. And I told her, I said, man, I've been wanting to do this for years. She said the best way to do it is just to get up there and just do it. Send out a post a day or two before and just do it. So today is my 15th day. So that also means that I have 15 hours of content, 15 hours of different presentations that I've set since we got started. I think the very first one was intentions. Actually, no, that was the second one. So technically, I have 14 because the very first one that I did was just the intro, which I just kind of talked for about an hour and a half, right? And Jessica came along and she's like, "Hey, I see what you're doing and that's cool, but dude," she said, "you need to have some type of structure in this. You gotta have, you gotta, we need to know what you're talking about and what you're doing, but so do you, because you might get on one tangent and you go off somewhere else, but we're still stuck over here waiting for you to come back. Then by the time we get over there with you, you done came back over here, visited for a little bit, and then took the fuck off somewhere else." And so she's like, "Dude, please just create something." Jessica, am I lying? Right? Now, I'm not going to tell you how many times Jesse and I have had these conversations about getting started and stuff and certain things I need to catch up on or whatever. So, but yes, both Jessicas have gotten in my cheeks about making sure that I stay on track with certain things. What's up, Lisa? How you doing, dear? So anyway, like I said before, I come with a warning. Let's right, no lies. All right, I'm gonna kind of make this thing bigger. Can you guys hear the background music? Do you want me to shut it off? Because it has kind of like a cool little tempo. I don't know if y'all go with it. If you not go with it, I'll shut this shit down. If you're okay with it, you can get it going too. I mean, what do y'all think? Oh wow, she said she can't even hear it. I don't hear music. Perfect. Then maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm the only one who can hear it. Wonderful. I'm okay with that too. All right. So, like I said before we get started, if you're easily offended, this is not for you. If you don't like taking accountability, this ain't for you. If you don't like being, put in your place on certain stuff, not necessarily to be mean by no means, but to move you from one place to the other, this isn't for you. All right. Okay, let's get it started. Let's get it started. All right. So this is, like I always say, this is our 15th day. Again, clap, 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 clap. Thank you. Of free coaching, free training, and free Q&A. Like I always tell people, man, I actually charge for this stuff. And like most of the time, you can charge quite a bit of money for a lot of these trainings. And I'm just giving them to you, mainly because I like doing it. The other part is that, like I said, I've been wanting to do this for years. And I finally got off my ass and did it. Okay. All right. So tonight we're going to discuss something kind of serious to me. This is 7 signs that this is not love anymore. Okay? 7 signs that this is not love anymore. How many of you, by show of hands, give me a hell yeah, have been in a relationship where you're like, you know what, this ain't love. I don't know what this is, but this ain't love. Give me a hell yeah. Oh, that's funny. I would hope not that I'll be on there being silent. I would hope not. And one of the things that I'm kind of going back to again, I want to make sure you guys know that hey Yachty, um, there's usually about a 60-second delay in what we're talking about. So I can hear you and I can see, matter of fact, I see it on my screen before I see it on my phone. I got a wave from Miss Yachty. Hey, Miss Yachty. I got a hell yeah. The question, Yachty, that I asked was how many of us have been in a relationship where you know that this ain't love no more? I don't know what this is, but it's not love. I said, give me a hell yeah if you've been in that situation before. Renita said, hell yeah. Jesse said, hell yeah, of course. Not of course that that you stuck in relationships, Jesse. I'm just saying, like, of course, that we've all gone through that. For a minute. What? Yachty you? What? Yachty too? That's crazy. I would have never stopped. Again, everybody goes through it though, right? All right, so as before, I will give you guys a cheat sheet to let you guys know exactly hold on what we're doing. Actually, I think what I want to do, I want to see if I can make this a little bigger for you. She said, okay, she said that it's not in preview mode. Hold on. Oh, do you mean it is in preview mode? I know. I know. I'm doing that so I can kind of keep going back and forth if need to, but I'm making this one over here pretty big. There you go. She said sometimes it started like that. Had to get through college somehow. Had to get through college somehow. I feel you. Well, I guess I don't because I've never been to college. I met my half. Of course, Benito's an amazing guy. So again, so today, our thing is seven subtle signs. This is not love anymore. Part one. Part two, we're gonna talk about the solutions to part one. And I'm gonna give you a hint. I'm just gonna give you one word of what the solutions are. And there's a few of them, and we're gonna go through those on tomorrow's show. Today, we're just gonna talk about the issue. I'll touch on certain things that we can do to avoid certain things or to at least acknowledge it. But tomorrow is going to be the solutions. The one word that I will tell you that tomorrow is based on is boundaries. Boundaries. Okay? Just throwing that out there. Boundaries. So the first one is constant confusion. Second one is open-sided effort. Open-sided effort. Yep. Disrespect disguises jokes. I know that all of us have been there at some point. Inconsistency. Control, not care. You shrinking to keep the peace. Walking around on eggshells. And number seven, gaslighting and guilt tripping. And as promised, at the end, I'll give you a bonus. That's not on there if you stay to the end. If you guys are just now joining me, thank you so much. Welcome to Ask Fearless. My name is Fearless Cummings. I will be your host and neighborhood life coach for the evening. All right, so kind of let's get it started. As always, like I tell people, repetition is key. Anything worth knowing, learning, teaching, understanding revolves around that one word, ladies and gentlemen, which is repetition. That's the reason why we talk about it every single night. Every night. Not some nights, every night. So I also want to describe and talk about what it is that I do versus what it is that I do not do. So first up, what I do not do. I am not here to motivate you because you don't need motivation. I'm not here to sugarcoat or coddle you because that's not what you need either. I do not give false positivity, which means thanks for showing up. You're doing a great job. Certain things, yes. Most of the time, no. You got to do the work. Other thing is that I'm not here to fix you because you're not broke. Sorry. So what am I here to do? I'm here to give you some tools, tips, and strategies that work. And if they don't, hit me up and we'll figure out what works for you. Sometimes this is not a one size fits all. Okay. Number two, I'm here to help you build your own personal code and then live by that shit. Okay. Number three, I will help you change your perspective, not your worth. You are priceless, but sometimes your goals suck ass. Sometimes your perspective does too. Last but not least, I'm going to hold you accountable. Just like I hope that you do the same thing for me. Okay. I just had a conversation with one of y'all this morning who I shall not name. Hey, what's going on there, Beverly? That was in that told me like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I put my coaching hat on when I'm talking to people. I said, well, I was asking you because I like to have certain people's opinions based on, what I'm doing and this and the other. Jessica gonna give me shit all day long, right? Others like, hey, I think that you're doing okay and this and the other. But sometimes, man, fuck that. I need to hear what I need to do to improve. I'm a, I appreciate the kudos. I very much appreciate it, but I want to get better. You know what I mean? So, and I've even had to tell Jessica, okay, what do you like? What don't you like? Well, I don't really like this, but I don't want to tell you because I don't want you getting mad. Yo, I need to get better. I need to get better. Either you tell me or somebody else will. Right? That's all a part of this accountability. So accountability, the state of being answerable, liable, and responsible. Answerable means that I don't take no blame. Right? There is no blame. There is no excuses. We know this. Number two, liable, keeping your word. Goddamn, keep your word. And then responsibility is an action. It's something that you do. Think about that. The word responsible, to be responsible, is doing something. Now, remember that because we're going to talk about that again. So, but before we get started, like always, grab yourself a pen, get yourself some paper, and get ready to learn. I was going to try to do this like a, what was that laugh? Like the, what is that? Like, like the, what is that, Urban Monster? Like the Halloween shit. It didn't work out. You know what I was trying to do. Do it for me. Put it in the chat. Do the little thing for me. I'm gonna put it up there for y'all. Whatever. But still, we're gonna have some fun. So grab yourself some snacks. I got my water over here. I should have got some tea, which I'll probably get some tea tomorrow. Bring your dreams, goals, aspirations, problems, and curiosity, and write that shit down, ladies and gentlemen. I don't like to go nowhere without some pen and pad. Okay, and unless you're like Jessie here, she don't write. She swipes. There you go, Jess. What about you, B? What about you, Beverly? You got a pen and paper? I hope you do. Trying to get some learning in, ma'am. All right, so before we start anything, like I always ask, please ask as many questions as humanly possible. Once I see it, I will answer whatever you have. And I'm also going to be asking you guys questions too. Here's the thing, as your neighborhood life coach, I am here to help. I'm giving you free trainings, free Q&A, free coaching for technically 85 more days. Take me up on this shit. All right? Take me up on it. I joke around a lot, but when it's time to become professional, I can do that as well. Hit me up if you need me. I'm here. This is what we're here for. Like everything else, like I said before, there's usually about a 60-second delay in what I see in here versus what you see in here as well. So if I ask you a question and I move on, I'm not trying to be rude. It's just that I didn't see it yet. But once I see it, I will answer or I'll respond to whatever you guys write. Are you ready? Can I get a hell yeah? Let me move around. Let me. You see that? That's a collar popping shit. That's not mine, though. That's E40's. But I mean, being that I bought his tape, I feel like he's okay with me listening and using his language or slangwich. Thank you, Miss Jessica. She said, hell yeah. Look at that. Jesse's like, hell yeah. So thank you guys. My boy Jerry on the man. I'm just saying, you guys are amazing. Thank you guys. Thank you. There's Rebecca. Rebecca's like, hell yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Renita, where you at? Yachty, where you at? Let's go. I'm not gonna show them my E40 impression. I'm not gonna do that. I'm amazing too. I'm not doing it. You know what, Jessica? You're a fucking hater. Anyway, thank you, Renita. Where you at, Yachty? Quit playing around. Let's go. Oh, I guess there is that 60-second delay, though, isn't it? Sorry. All right, yeah, all right. So we're just gonna get it cracking. Again, if you're easily offended, this ain't for you. I just have to throw it out there one more time. Okay, so seven signs this is not love anymore. Part one. Let's go. Constant confusion. See, these people are unclear about their communication. They always got the mixed signals and that that shifty ass language that they like to have. Always questioning where you stand, but they ain't never really constant in where they are though. But they quick to try to tell you where you should be and what you're doing wrong. As a matter of fact, you remember that song, The X Factor by Lauryn Hill? Oh my God. What? That's that shit where you only need one album. One album that's gonna tell you everything you need to. I don't know if she wrote another. I don't know if she had another album after that. I'm just telling you, that album. Oh my God. But the X Factor. What? What? Oh my gosh. Listen to that shit after we're done here. Let's go. Healthy love, ladies and gentlemen. Healthy love brings clarity, not chaos. Not chaos. When you're loved and somebody actually loves you, I think that you'll know it. I mean, especially if you have had some type of a healthy upbringing, I do think that that is shine through. I truly, truly do. One-sided effort. You're doing all the emotional labor. When people talk about a 50-50 relationship, like I'm trying to bring 50-50 to the table, here's the thing. First and foremost, let me put this out there. Because one of the things that I told my buddy Jessica, I said, I don't like talking about shit that I either A haven't gone through myself or B that I'm still working on myself or I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Right. And pertaining to like I was asked to talk about something. So I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm kinda out of my comfort zone at this point because I have been a huge I, y'all I've been on this side of the table, okay? I'm be honest with you. I have been an asshole. I have been a major dick. So all the shit that I'm telling y'all, hey, watch out for, we're basically talking about the shit that I used to do. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Listen, if I can't be honest with y'all, who the fuck can I be honest with? Right? Seriously. But I mean shit where she carried all the work. Yeah, I would bring my 50%, but then she would bring 75 sometimes. She would bring 100. And unfortunately, I don't care what the relationship is, somebody's gonna be doing a little bit more than the other person. That that's just how that goes. You can both try to give 100%. And I think that as long as that's what you're trying to do, then yeah, shake your luck. That's what's up. But we're always gonna fall short. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes she might bring that. Sometimes I might bring it. What if she's in a shitty mood? What if her percentage is only 30? I'm gonna have to step mine up to 70 or 80. You see what I'm saying? Or you're gonna have to step that up to 70 or 80. And unfortunately that shit happens. Ain't none of us perfect, right? These are the people, ladies and gentlemen, who only show up when everything's easy. They ain't showing up when the hard work is or when there's hard work to be had, when we have to have those deep ass community conversations. And again, I've been a horrible person when it comes to this shit. Not gonna lie to you. People wanted to have conversations with me. I'm like, nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I just don't want to fucking hear it. I already know it's about to be said, right? And here's the thing. One thing I heard recently is that when people tell you that they're gonna that they just want you for yourself, just want you for you. That's cool and all, but I found that a real relationship is one of those ones where a motherfucker call you out on your shit, whether you like it or not. And the question is can you deal with that? And that's the shit that even with my friend Jessica, she like we've had that conversation so many times. It's ridiculous. And like now, after years of us being friends, because our relationship has always been like one sided. And like my other best friend Evan, I talk to Evan twice a year. Twice a year. That's my ace. That's my guy. We've been knowing each other for over 20 some years. But I only talk to that dude probably twice a year. He lives in Rapid City, South Dakota. I live down here. We talk when we need to. We talk when we need to. Usually we call each other on our birthdays or just during the year sometime. So I guess we talk 3 times. I'll call him on his birthday. He calls me on my birthday. Then we'll talk like just some other period of time, right? But when we talk for hours. I remember one time we talked for like 8 hours. 8 hours. Because we get all of our shit out, then we go back to our lives. He has a wife and kids. I have a kid. I've got all this stuff going on, right? But Jessica, on the other hand, she likes her friend, and not just me, but she likes her friends to be able to talk and hang out and do this and do that, right? She likes it to be that 70-70, that 80-80, right? Whereas I'm just bringing 25 and then she's bringing the 75. But then you're going to get upset because I'm not matching that work, that friendship, right? And it's not like I'm trying to do it on purpose. It's just me and my friends. That's how we roll. Now, other little brother Leon, we only talk a couple times a year too. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it doesn't matter how often we talk, just as long as we do. See what I mean? But love is a two-way street. It's not a solo mission. That's something that I have to remember. You know? All right, so disrespect disguised as jokes. This is what people be talking out the side of their mouth when they talk to you. Let me ask y'all, how many of y'all done been around people who have been so disrespectful and they disguise that shit as a joke? Say hell yeah. Say hell yeah. How many times have y'all been around somebody, especially somebody that you love, and they are just fucking tearing you down? And they like, oh, I'm just joking. I'm just kidding. But you know that that's not a joke. They not playing. How many of y'all actually feel like that? How many of y'all actually really went through that? Say hell yeah for me. Jerry said hell yeah. Jesse said too many times. Yachty said hell yeah. Jessica, I'm already speaking. I'm gonna speak for you. I know it's a hell goddamn yeah. Because I'm usually the one who has to hear that shit. When she's having men problems, I'm the one who usually has to hear it. And I'm usually telling her, like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? She's like, I can't help it. Like, I know, I get you. I feel you. And again, I don't have my issues too. Or I don't have to talk to her about some female shit too. So that happens. So it's not just that she comes to me more often than I go to her because I'm so fucking private with my shit. And she's like, no, you're not private. You're just sneaky. I tell you everything. You don't tell me shit. I tell you. Am I lying, Jessica? But I do every so often talk to her about female stuff, but not that often. But I don't really talk about my business like that though. I'm saying I don't. Sorry. Right? Look at my man. Okay, Jerry. Okay. So I mean, this is that shit where they laugh at your dreams, your goals, your aspirations. sarcasm, or they just belittle you, make you feel like shit, make you feel like you're not worthy of anything. And so, sadly enough, sorry about that, y'all. Um, Sadly enough, I've been in, people people are surprised when I tell them that just because I'm a life coach doesn't make me um impervious to fucking heartbreak. Like that shit happens. I mean, a person I was with shit, I mean a minute ago, whatever shit, like it fucking hurt that, what I'm saying? Like I'm so upbeat about certain stuff. And she's just a fucking drain. And then like I would say something and she would make a joke like or whatever. Like, yeah, okay, yeah. It's so funny how you can always talk about money, but listen, I'm out here struggling looking for a job and I don't know what to fucking tell you. Like, keep doing what you're doing. I don't know. Right? But then they try to make you feel bad that you're not going through the same shit that they're going through because misery loves fucking company so much. And I don't have to sit with that shit. I don't have money problems. I have a slew of other problems. Money just ain't one of them. So, what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's a fucking touchy subject. Right? But true love respects your voice and your heart. Right? And again, man, I can honestly say that I haven't always been that way. Like, I have not. You know what I'm saying? So, again, and I always kind of looked at it like the things that I've done to other people, at some point, I have to assume that that's just going to come back on me. Hence, that's probably the reason why I've never gotten married. That's a totally different other subject. Anyway, inconsistency, right? Some of these people are hot and cold behavior, and it keeps you anxious, which means it keeps you guessing. See, these are the type of people you gotta walk around on eggshells with constantly. These are the people that have those empty promises without any follow through. One of the things that we talk about in accountability is what? Is being liable, isn't it? Right, you have boundaries. Yes, ma'am, I do. Right. You're right. Right. But we all kind of get like that though, right? When we talk about being liable, keeping your word, that also means being one with your deeds too. So being liable is not just about it's not just a cute little word that we use. That shit means something, especially to somebody like me, right? But consistency is key to emotional safety. And again, that's how we have to remember that when somebody else is being inconsistent, you have to remember what's within your control. As a matter of fact, if you don't mind, I'm gonna slide back up here and touch on that one more time because I want to make sure you guys remember this. Know it, right? Your actions, your attitude, your energy, your choices, your emotions. Those are yours. Those are things that are within your control. Okay, that's your shit. Like I said before, accountability means we don't blame nobody for our shit. If we're in a situation, then we're in that situation. We can say all day, well, I shouldn't be here. I wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for this person. I wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for that person. Right, but you're there. So that means it's yours, right? So now you are responsible, like that says at the bottom. You're responsible. That means you have to take some type of action of, like I said before, what you're in control over. Oh yeah, for sure. China, the cheat sheet is right up here. 7 titles. Screenshot if you need to, because we're gonna kind of move on. So screenshot. Hello, Miss Shauna. How are you this evening? Happy to see you can join us. I'm seriously happy about that. Thank you. But consistency is key to emotional safety. Because, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, these people try to fuck you over as much as they possibly can. Okay. Oh, okay. There it is. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. All right. So we're gonna take a kind of a This is not a break, but it's kind of like a sub break, right? So this is what I like this book, right? For those of you who don't know, as being a life coach, like I've always been a reader. Like I love to read. And I read this book some years ago. And even when I read it, I was having like some kind of like, man, I don't know. I like the book. I like the premise of the book. It was a good book. I would even encourage you guys to go read it. But what happens if and when, matter of fact, I'm going to slideshow this one. Oh, I don't know if y'all can see me. See that? Hold on one sec. Let me see if you can, because I may. Hold on one sec. Okay, yeah, I need to change that out. Sorry about that. Give me 1 second. Okay. Damn it. Okay, yeah, that's the only way you guys are gonna be able to see it. Okay, so here's my thing. This book basically talks about what the premise of this book is basically telling you that that you know this is kind of set on a man and woman relationship and usually Christian values. Okay, it's not any other values except for those. And the first premise is that your partner is broken, and this is how you fix it. So it refers to relationships where you learn your partner's language so you can fix the relationship. What's the first thing I tell you? You're not broken, so I don't need to fix you. You need perspective. You need patience. You need understanding. You might need somebody to fucking listen to you, but you ain't broke. So get off that shit. So what's the issue here? Is that people can lead to over this right here can actually have you overcompensating in one area, like giving gifts or something like that, right? While avoiding those deeper issues such as poor communication, lack of trust, and lack of personal growth. Those are all things that you can control. Those are all things within your control, right? But what he's saying is that no, you can control some of these things outside of yourself. You can take accountability for what somebody else is doing. That goes against the concept of accountability. Like that shit doesn't work. Second thing is that it ignores trauma and attachment styles. I can go into that, but I'm not going to tonight. There's usually 4 attachment styles, and they go from uh, where you're totally okay, you're totally interdependent, which means you're not codependent on another person, and you're okay for them to leave and come back. You're okay with that. To the last one, which is you can't live without this motherfucker. These are the type of people that when you leave your house, they're calling you to see which street are you on. How? Why'd you take that street? Why didn't you take the other one? These are those individuals that are like codependent on everything that you do, right? But they're lazy as shit, right? And so the thing is that this book never goes in and talks about um your personal childhood trauma, your attachment style, mental health. For the most part, some people are okay being touched, right? Because that's sensual. But what happens if that's a trigger for somebody else? Give me a hell yeah if you've met somebody like that before. That they don't like being touched. That they don't like hugs. That they don't like kissing. I'm a kisser, I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't like holding hands and shit like that. That's kind of weird for me, but the other part, but I've been around women who don't like that. And then we wonder why we didn't last that long, you know? And again, I'm not gonna make you feel like shit because that's just your thing. But at the same time, I don't want to change who I am, you know what I'm saying, because of that. Yeah. But, Jessica say yes. I mean, Jessica and I've had conversations about that before. That like the guys would try to kiss her and shit. She'd be like, Like, she doesn't like being hugged and shit. Like, she doesn't like any of that shit. Like, she'll sit and tell me that some dude tried to give her a kiss and a hug and shit. She's like, fucking weird. I mean, so yeah. See that? So here she is. She said, I don't like being touched like that. I mean, she doesn't. That's her thing, though. Fucking love her to death. She said, yeah, I don't like being touched like that. I mean, yeah, that's how motherfuckers are. It's okay. So here's the five love language. Now, here's the thing. I had these things popped up or whatever, but being that I'm doing what I'm doing, it's not gonna work. So here's the five love language: touch, active service. The third one is time, spending time with a person. The fourth is gifts, and then the fifth one is words of affirmation, like saying something nice or positive. But then I'm like, well, what about those people who have an abusive uh, love language? Their love language is not based on love, communication, this, that, time, acts of service, this, that, and the other. What if they shit? What if they don't fuck shit? Because that's how they were raised. That's how they experience love. Like we talked about before, if y'all remember, I think it was second or third episode when we talked about toxic, while we normalize toxicity. And we talk about if you with a woman or you with a dude and you ain't wanting to whoop her motherfucking ass, you ain't been in love. I've met people that are like, bro, man, the things I want to do to her. But then I've been around other men and women who are like, nah, me and my wife, we don't really argue like that. We may have disagreements, but we don't argue like that. If it gets that deep, we don't need to be together. If somebody got to call the cops, unless this motherfucker on the ground having a heart attack or some shit like that or whatever, that's one thing. But you calling the cops because there's a beef, man, fuck out of here, right? But that's how some people are. So some people have that non-affectionate. They don't like being kissed. They don't like being hugged. Renita says the same thing. See, LOL. That's me too. I don't like. Don't touch me, right? So that's not obviously gonna be the top of her love language. So the top one over here says non-affectionate. The second one says acts of service. So if it's acts of service, so if it's acts of service, that's selfishness. So let me give you an example. If I'm paying for everything, does that mean I get to choose everything? Give me a hell no. Or hell yeah, if that's what you into. I'm asking, give me a hell no. If no, just because I get to pay for shit, don't mean I get to pick everything. Or you might be like, you know what, if you paying, hell yeah, you can pick it. Go ahead, give it to me. Yeah, yeah. Trying to, yeah, honey, I've been around you. Yeah, yeah. I've never experienced that with you or whatever, but I can see how a person would do some shit like that. She said, hell no. Right. So she said, basically, she said, oh, hell no. Hold on. She said, hell no, I'll go Dutch then. You pay for you, I'll pay for me. We keep it pushing. Swipe left. You in here, Jesse? Swipe left. Renita said, hell no. So the question was, for those of you who are just now showing up, is it selfish of me if I ask you to go somewhere with me, whether out to eat, out to lunch, go to a movie, on vacation, and I tell you, since I'm paying, I'm picking every time. You're gonna be like, what? Right. Offering choices is offering psychological safety. See that? You pick everything, dot, 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 then yikes, right. right. If I'm picking it, right. But this is the aversion effect. What about time? What about if I'm busy and I stand your ass up? What about if we supposed to be somewhere at 7 o'clock and I don't show up to 8:15? Jessica's horrible about that shit. I have to tell her constantly, like, bro, why are you late everywhere? That's insane. Oh my god. What? Am I lying, Jessica? Come on now. She is late for everything. God damn. Gifts. Gifts of manipulation. Gifts of manipulation of control. Listen, if a man buys you, yes, I'm putting your ass on blast. Oh, come on, Jesse. Don't tell me you're bad at that too. Jesse, no. Jesse, no. All right. All right. Yes, I put your ass on blast, man. Trying to say I'd rather just go by my damn self. She said, you ain't picking shit. We can, we can figure it out together, but you ain't picking it by yourself. She said, I've tightened it up, though. It's rough. Okay. She said, I see your ass when I see you. Man, Shauna, you be turning up on shit, man. Good God. That's just right. It might just be a Jessica thing, right? Yes. Time is everything. Yes. I 100% agree. I'm doing like 17 things at one time. I'm busy as shit. She said, shit is busy. I know you are. Compartmentalized, man. Goddamn. Right. But here's the thing. I want to get this and then we'll kind of keep hurry up and knock it out, right? So here's the thing. If somebody is buying you a car, buying you a house, buying you items and this, that, and the other, right? Listen to me. If it's in that person's name and they give it to you, it ain't yours. You are borrowing it on the contingent, on the contingency that you guys are together. I want you to remember that. If somebody bought you a car, bought you a house, bought you whatever, and it's still in their name, it ain't yours. It is only when you got that pink slip, when you got that title in your hand, and it says your name on it, that if you can't sell it, it ain't yours. Let's just go there. If you can't sell it, it's not yours. And if you did sell it, if the police will not arrest you for it, then it's yours. I'm just saying that it's not yours. Just saying. If they like, oh no, don't say no, this is you. Don't, don't. Jessica said I done quit claiming that shit. Get the fuck away from me. Yeah. She said Rebecca is going to be late to her old funeral. Man, Rebecca, you hear that? You hear that? That's funny. Right? And then the last thing is words of affirmation is gaslighting. And we know about that. Oh, I'm gonna make you feel better about yourself. Or you ain't shit or man, I know that you out here doing shit. No, I'm good. It's just in your head. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. No, no, we gotta stop that shit. No. She said, quick. Yeah, right. I'm just saying, bye. Right. So here's the thing. At the end of the day, man, we have to stop shoving ourselves into these little boxes and standards and expectations because basically what we're doing is we're harming ourselves in this. There's not just five love languages. There's a multitude of love languages that go into that. I myself, I can't speak for everybody else, but if I had a shitty fucking childhood, that's going to affect the way that I love other people. That's going to affect the way that I step up in certain ways. That's going to affect the way that I have PDA, public display of affection. If I'm going through all of this shit, or I went through all of that, that's going to literally mess with my relationship in the future unless somebody calls me out on it and I see that, hey, that's just not normal. That's just not cool. You know what I mean? Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to me. The only box that I want y'all in is where we are deciding and we're picking what type of golden girl we are. You understand what I'm saying? That's the only box that you put yourself into. Huh? That's the only box we put ourselves into. What which member of the Golden Girls do you best identify with? That is the only love language you need to have. That's it. Now let me ask you, which one do which one do you represent? Go ahead. I'll go first. Mine, I'm gonna have to go ahead and throw it out there. I'm gonna have to go with Blanche. I'm gonna have to go with a little bit of Blanche and Rose. I'm gonna tell you why. Blanche because she's an old slut, and Rose because she's witty and chipper, almost psychopathic. Hmm? One might say that she was intellectually disabled. Hmm? It might be, well, both might be correct in both instances, but that is what I identify with. Nasty ass Blanche and weird ass Rose. Hello. What do you identify with? Give it to me. Give it to me. Rose, see? Okay, Jesse, Jessica, I can see you. I can see you fucking with Rose. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Hold on. Oh man, okay. Okay, man, that's crazy. Shit, I only know who Betty White is. Betty White was Rose. She was Rose. The one that's standing up, the one that's standing right above her, that's Blanche. Blanche was oh nasty. Okay. Very promiscuous. I'm not. I'm just saying. I just think that that was kind of funny or whatever. The lady down at the bottom, her name is Sophia. Sophia was what was it? What is her? What was her name? There's Rose. There's Blanche, Rose, Sophia, and Dorothy. Dorothy, like the Wizard of Oz. Dorothy. Oh shit. Shauna. Yes. 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 Shauna, that is you. All goddamn day. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes. Jessica said fearless is definitely Blanche and Sophia. Sophia? I mean, okay. The old the old wit. That woman didn't give a fuck at all. If she had fucks, she would give out multitude of them. Did you guys know? And I'm not bullshitting. So Dorothy and Sophia. Sophia played Dorothy's mother. Did you know that Dorothy was actually older than Sophia? Isn't that crazy? I think by like a year. So so Sophia played Dorothy's mom because Sophia looked older, but Dorothy was actually in real life older than Sophia. Crazy. Crazy. Yes, I fuck with the Golden Girls. Yes. I've been watching them since I was a kid. You hear what I'm saying? Just saying. Dorothy for sure, okay. What? Renita, it's okay. It's okay. That's what I'm talking about, Jesse. That's what I'm talking about. She said, okay, I'm nasty. I'm Blanche. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. She said, oh, Jesse, I would have pegged you from a Dorothy type. I get that too. I can see that. Sophia was younger than all Sophia was young. I don't know. She may have been. I just know that she was younger than um Dorothy. But you may have been right. What did Dorothy do? Dorothy was more like she would be like the equivalent of like an alpha male, but for a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like she would be like the equivalent of an alpha male. That's what Dorothy did. That's what she was like. That's all I'm saying. How could you not like the Golden Girls? I mean, but Renita, it's not that she doesn't like them. She just never watched. Hold on. Did she say I didn't like or didn't watch? Yeah, Renita just didn't watch them. It wasn't that she didn't like them. She was an intellectual. Yes, real. You know what? I didn't know that. Well, okay, then that works. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, that works. Okay, then both. All right, yeah. She said, "Oh yes, I am a man." Oh my gosh, that's funny as shit. Hey, hold on. Did we Jerry, Rebecca? Which ones are you so I can move on? Yachty, I don't even think you know what the Golden Girls are, do you? I didn't know she was a school teacher. Okay, I didn't know that. Look at that. So that's what we should have. We should have like a Golden Girls trivia night. I'd have to have you guys swear on your proverbial Bibles that you don't fucking cheat. That'd be fun. Cause I love me some Golden Girls. But I haven't watched it in years though. I've not watched it in years. But then they had that spin-off show. Was it Designer Women? I think it was Designer Women. No, it was something else. Designer Women was different. That was actually a pretty good show too. But I don't remember any of the characters. Actually, Dale Hughley, no. Don Cheadle was on that show. Just saying. Oh, Rebecca is Rose. Okay, I can see that. Okay. Jerry says I'll be Blanche. Gotcha. All right, y'all, let's get it moving. All right, so like I said, everything that we're talking about is based on pattern recognition for the most part. Oh, for everybody just joining, Hags Fearless, welcome. My name is Fearless Cummings. I'll be your host and your neighborhood life coach. Today we are talking about the 7 subtle signs that we're not in love anymore. Okay, hold on. All right, here we go. So a lot of this is based on pattern recognition. And if you remember, and again, that's why it's right here, pattern recognition is based on 3 events or 3 things. First, it's an event, right? Second time, it's noteworthy because it's happened before. Third time, now you have a pattern. Now, here's the thing it's usually not, and I want to repeat this, it is usually not in one day. Now, somebody could do something in patterns of threes in one day. Yes, but we're talking about something that's a series of successions that consistently keep happening day in and day out, day in and day out. That's the type of people that some of these people are, if that makes any sense. Jerry says, I'm a man whore. That's crazy. I believe you, Jerry. All them kids, I believe you, sir. I do not doubt that. Fucking Jesse's like, me too, Jerry. Me too. I love you guys. You guys are so fucking funny. All right, so number 5, control, not care. They monitor or restrict your choices. Remember, like we talked about in choices, those are the things that are within your control. But these individuals, they want to control whatever you have within your control. So they want their shit, but they also want yours too. It's like when you take your kids out to eat and then you order something and they order something, but they want what's on your plate. Or if my son was here, he would say, Dad, that's what you do to me all the time. I'll have Caden order something, I'll order something, I'll start eating on this plate. Oh my God, he gets so mad. He gets so pissed. Give me a hell yeah if you done that to your kids. Give me a hell yeah if you've stolen off of their plate. Give me a hell yeah. Another thing is too is that these individuals believe in surveilling you, not just surveilling you, but these are the type of people that will save every phone call. If you leave a voicemail, they'll save it. If you call them and you leave a message to them or whatever, they'll save it. And it's not just that they save it on their phone. They create files for you to put you in. Every email, every text message goes into one particular thing. So if they ever want to blackmail you or if they ever want to talk about you or whatever, they'll pull that up. And look, you can just read all the thread. If a person does that to you, they're not your fucking friend. They are the fucking cops. They're the cops. And please believe you me, if they're doing that to you, they're doing that to everybody else they fuck with. And here's the thing, there's no trust in that either. What parent has it? Thank you. What parent has it? He said, fuck yeah. Creepers, motherfucker. Creepy motherfuckers, stalkers, surveillors, eat. Yes. That's what they do, though. That's what they do. And again, I know that. As a matter of fact, give me a hell yeah if you know somebody like that. Give me a hell yeah if you know somebody that's that low down and fucking dirty that does shit like that. That'll put a tracker on your phone. And if they can listen to any phone, if they can put a low jack on your phone and listen to your phone conversation, that's exactly what they would do. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't even do that shit. Jesse says my man is a cop, and he don't even do that shit to me. I'm saying, just saying. Type of people that will low jack your phone and listen to your conversations. You know what I'm saying? You get a text, they get a text. Give me a hell yeah, I know somebody like that. Give me a hell yeah, I know somebody like that. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, everything that I say or do is usually like a 60-minute delay. I want to make sure you guys know this. There's a 60-minute delay. So if I'm talking about something, or if you guys have, hey, look at that. I know that little lady. How are you, ma'am? What? Naomi Shiver. How are you, ma'am? I know you, right? Tap them off. You know what I'm saying? But again, though, that's the type of people that they are. So give me a hell yeah that's what that is. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to respond to everything, but everything's about 60 seconds delay. So I'm gonna go back up to where I was. So okay. So the other thing too that I want to make sure that you guys know is that love does not need surveillance. Support builds you up. Control will tear you down. And not only will it tear you down, it'll tear down everything that y'all built together. Everything. Think it'll tear down everything that y'all built. Everything that y'all built together, it'll destroy it. Especially if you're reading some of them books like I told y'all about, like the 5 love languages. You know what I'm saying? Because once you start putting people in boxes and shit, you think that's where they should stay. They may know about your love language, but you ain't gonna know about theirs because they're too egotistical. They're too narcissistic to even tell you what it is. But they get mad at you because you can't guess. Basically, because you ain't paying attention. All right. Number 6, you keep shrinking around them. You shrinking to keep the peace. Think about that. You silence yourself to avoid arguments. Naomi, how many times did you and I talk about that? At at your job? How many times did I say, "Hey, did you go tell these people this, that, and the other?" You're like, "Yeah, they're not listening." Or sometimes you don't say anything, and they just kind of walk all over. And sometimes what that does is that what this does, ladies and gentlemen, is that it allows the other person to believe that it's okay to walk all over your ass. That's what this does. This gives people permission to walk over you because, as the old saying goes, we teach people how to treat us. So if you're teaching another person how to treat you, this is how you're doing it. You shrink down to keep the peace. You keep silent to keep the peace. You walk away to keep the peace. You ignore bullshit in order to keep the peace. You sit in the middle of the boat so you don't rock it, so you don't fall out of it, right? Peace should not cost you your authenticity. It should not. And if it does, then man, you need more than a coach, B. You need more than that. I'm saying, but next, but here's the thing. Tomorrow night we're gonna talk about uh, we're gonna talk about in grave detail the solutions to all of these. And again, it's one word, boundaries. But I broke it down so much, it's already done. But we're gonna break it down so much that I promise you, if you if you see a motherfucker sneeze in your direction, you're gonna be like, oh, nope, 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 we're not doing that. Nope. See what I mean? Hold on. Look at that. Naomi said, hold on. Fantastic. Okay. Jesse said, too many years of that. Said, I'm free. She done went through it. She knew how it is. Right. They can't even look at me funny now. Bye. Bye bye. Not playing that shit. Nope. I'm saying you gotta shrink just to be around these mother man. Nah, I ain't doing that weird shit. Number 7, gaslighting. Guilt tripping people. How many of us give me a hell yeah if you know somebody like this? And if you don't know them, tell me that you knew somebody like this. Give me a hell yeah. Naomi, for you, you don't need to say that. You can just say, heck yeah. Heck yeah, I know somebody like that. Or you can just say, I do. All right, gaslighting and guilt tripping. They twist the facts to make you doubt yourself, right? They twist the facts to make you doubt yourself. And then they make you feel guilty for having needs. Mm? And they make you feel guilty for having needs of your own. That's not accompanied or surrounded by their needs. Because we all have needs and wants. But people who do shit like this, they don't give two shits about your needs or wants. Technically, the way they see it, your needs and wants are their needs and wants. The only needs and wants you have are the ones that they have. Ain't that sick? See, the thing I love about this is that real love brings clarity, not confusion. Mm? Real love brings clarity, not confusion. I mean, that's what I learned. That's why I became a life coach because I wanted to understand what some of this shit meant. I didn't understand what it was. I had no idea. And again, I'm telling y'all this because I've done this to people before. Guilt trip people, gaslit, gaslit the shit out of a woman before. I still feel bad about that shit. And it's been what shit? Even before, what was that? Before COVID? Yeah, a little bit. I think a little bit before. During was that? Maybe. I don't know. I still feel bad about it. That woman loved me, and I treat man. Well, I mean, I dogged her ass out. Yes, I did. You ain't shit. Yes, no. And and here's the thing. Like I said before, I think you before you got here, Shauna. Dude, if I can't be honest with y'all, who the fuck can I be honest with? Like I am. Yes, I did this shit. I did this. I do not feel good about it. That's why I can talk about it. Mhm. I gaslit the shit out of that woman, and I could have just been honest and been done with the whole damn thing, dragging her ass along for my own personal needs and wants. Nah, I mean I've done that. Shit's not cool, right? So for those of y'all who've stayed a little longer, let me ask y'all. Fuck that. Let me ask y'all. Have y'all ever guilt tripped somebody or gaslit somebody? So I'm over here pouring my shit out. Let me ask y'all. Have you ever done that to somebody? I don't think it's fair that your host and neighborhood life coach is giving y'all all of his business, all of his jewels, all of his mishaps. Okay. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, Jesse. My girl Jesse said, I've done all the bad things. I've done all the bad. Manita said never. Okay. Look at that. Miss Character, Miss Integrity in the house. Well, honey, I think that I've done enough for all of us. Sorry, there was somebody's car alarm was going off. There's been a ton of healing and growth since then. You know what? For me too. For me too. I've had to do a lot of it. A lot of it. One of the things that I tell y'all and I tell myself is that man, when I was going through some shit, if if I have something happening to me, the first question I ask myself is, what did I do to bring this on? I don't just ask like, what did that person do? Or just talk about that person. The first person I check is me. I do a self evaluation check on myself. I don't know what that means for y'all. But for me, that basically means holding myself accountable for what the fuck I'm out here doing. Right? This dude once told me, he said, man, don't nobody, he said, that's why everybody stopped fucking with you. You get that? Get that? The problem with that statement was, is that, and I don't think the homie understood, is that if you check my track record on the people that he was saying that don't fuck with me, if you look, you say, out of those people that apparently don't fuck with Fearless no more, did Fearless ever really call that person? Did he ever call a checkup one? Did he ever email? Did he ever pull up to their house just to go kick it? Did he ever talk to them or hang out with them when it wasn't about a business or a work related transaction? See, sometimes you have to really ask yourself, are you not fucking with me? Or did I just never fuck with you? And eventually you just kind of caught on. You know? See, at the end of the day, man, I love me. I love hanging out with myself. Man, I got this other book I'm about to read. I got video games. I got Jaw. Fuck I need to do with people that don't really mess with me and I don't mess with them like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Come on now. I'm good. Ms. Mackey said that guilt tripping for sure. Gaslighting people, she said no. Jessica, I'm telling you, you have gaslighting people. Uh, remember that dude that called you the N word? You've gaslit him. When you don't have self respect, it's easier to be a shitbag. That part. That part. Yep. Yep. You know what, Jesse? I will also add when you think you're better than other people, it's easier to be a shitbag too. Think about that because it's one extreme to the other, right? So you can have one person who is a goddamn zealot, and then you can have somebody else over here who is a full fledged card carrying atheist. It's just one extreme to the other, right? Left wing extremist, right wing extremist, right? Same shit though. So you can have all the respect for yourself. You are so confident, you're so cocky, you're arrogant as fuck, right? And you still do horrible shit to people. And then you can have no self respect at all and still do the same type of shit. So I think it's only when you have that balance of both, Marjan, that's when you find that balance of character. When you find that balance of integrity with ethics, morals, shit like that. I think that's when you find it. Me personally. All right, last but not least, let's go into it. Broken promises. They say what they want you to hear, but then they don't ever do it. These are also called liars. People who are there to manipulate you, that's their objective. They don't give a shit whether you get it or understand it or not. It's not made for you to get or understand. This is not about you, it's about them. Trust fades with every letdown, doesn't it? I was just telling my son this morning, I said, son, listen to me, buddy. And I said, honey, I'm working on this shit too. I said, money, let me give you some context. His teacher emailed me and told me that there's some folder that he hadn't brought in. And he kept gaslighting her for the most part, telling her that I left it at home. I left it at home. So I told her I would talk to him about it. I talked to him about it this morning. I said, son, your teacher's been asking about some folder that you got. He's in his room looking. I said, son, did you lose it? He said, yes, sir, I did. I said, honey, why are you wasting your time looking for something that you know that you're lost? You can just be honest and say, hey, this is what happened. You know? And he said to me, he said, Dad, because everything at the school costs money and it's going to cost $40. I said, son, listen to me. I said, money is very easy to come by, but an honest man is not. I said, son, that thing is $40. We have money. You can go make money. I taught you how to do that. When you need extra stuff, you go ask for it. You know how to do that. But when people are looking for an honest man, it's hard as fuck to find it. Okay? So I'm like, hon, you can either be a piece of shit, be a goddamn liar, or be a man of your word. Own up to it. Like, man, if this is what happened, that's okay. It's not that big of a deal. Let me know so we can move on. If it's $40, we'll make that back. Money's easy. Being a man of your shit, that's different. I say, honey, you're not old enough to have fucked up as bad as I have. But I need you to be on the right footing before you really get started out here. Okay? The last part about this is liable basically means being liable to yourself. And what is liable? What do we talk about? And accountability means keeping your word. If you say you're going to do something, do it. right? You got to stand on that shit. Good, bad, or indifferent. Sometimes because you told a person you're gonna do something, you shouldn't open your mouth. So sometimes you got to be very careful about what you say. I was talking to my aunt. She was on here last night, and she hit me up and she said, "Hey, I wanted to talk to you about what you said online last night." I said, "Go ahead. What's going on?" And she said, "I wanted to tell you that you were defaming that company you were talking about." I said, "Oh, really?" I'm like, "Airlight?" She said, "Yes." I said, "Oh, okay." I said, what do you mean by that?" And she said that by law, um, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to sit there and talk, defame a person. Hold on, I'm trying to look for the word. Okay, defamation. I'm sorry, there it is. So, and the definition of the defamation is a statement that injures a third party's reputation. Okay, the sort of defamation includes both libel written and slander spoken. The states of statutory blah 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 whatever. The fuck. Um, so basically, anything that's falsely accusing another person of something. I said, "And here's the thing, hon. Number one, everything I said was subjective about myself. I never." She said, "Well, didn't you say that the company was dirty and this and the other?" I said, "No, ma'am. That never came out of my mouth. Never. I never said that the company was nasty or dirty or any of that." I'm like, "Go back and watch." Never said that. What I said was they had more cameras and gates than any penitentiary I've ever seen, even on TV. Although I've never been there before, they have that. I said I hated working there. I never said anything about the employees, which I found most of them been extremely delightful. The management there, some of them were assholes, but again, I mean, they were still pretty cool. Their training was top notch. What am I defaming? How's that defamation? Everything I talked about was my own personal experience with that company. I didn't like working there, but I've also mentioned about the other people who've been there for 20, 30 years who love it there, right? That's what I said. So sometimes again, like I told him, like, we have to listen sometimes with both with open minds and open ears. We do. Because sometimes you might say something, you might think I said one thing, but I never said that at all. Or based on what you think that I might say, that's kind of where you take that. So again, I mean, it's again being when I went on that tangent to talk about being liable because you're liable to yourself first, right? That's where liability starts with you. So I have to remember what comes out of my mouth. And when I talk to Jessica, I have to fucking remember that because we will argue about what I said versus what I did not say. So now I am super conscious about what comes out of my mouth. Super conscious about it. Super, right? So I just want you guys to know that. Anyway, here's another cheat sheet for you. I didn't gaslight her. I, Jesse said, "Why you gaslighting your aunt?" I didn't gaslight her. Like, I was speaking about subjective experience. I didn't like working there. I talked about my experiences with my gym shorts, basketball shorts, and no draws. That's not a diss to them. I just said I hated working there. I also wasn't fond of working at Burger King either. But again, I'm not saying that they're a disgusting, despicable, outrageously horrible, child slaving company. I never said that uh about the other one either. It was I was like, what? No, no, I know that you are. But like, yeah, that's what I was trying to tell my aunt. Like, dude, like we have to be very conscious of what comes out of our mouths, especially me dealing with my friend Jessica, because like, dude, that motherfucker, I'm telling you, oh my god. So either way, so this is my conclusion of this thing. So here's the thing. Here's my final thoughts, my Jerry Springer style. Um, uh, final thoughts. So I've been in relationships before, on both sides, where it wasn't love anymore, and I just didn't really love this person anymore. So, but I've been on both sides of all of it. All 8 steps I've been there, and I can honestly say that it didn't feel good on either side, on either. And the great thing about what we're going to talk about tomorrow, which is again the solutions to what we talked about tonight. We touched on certain solutions, right? We talked about what we do, but boundaries, and we're going to really go into boundaries tomorrow. And I'm going to give you some amazing tips, tools, and strategies on what we can say and what we can do for that. And here's the thing: it's going to take some work for some of us. It's going to take work. It's not going to come easy. And if it does, that's even better, right? Hopefully, you can help somebody else to figure their shit out as easily as you did. But for the rest of us, it doesn't come like that, right? Life sometimes sucks, and unfortunately, we all need each other in order to make it through this thing, which you're not technically going to make it out of. So all I would say is that be mindful, I guess, of how we're doing things. I mean, I don't know. I guess just kind of be mindful about that. Because again, you're going to be on one side or the other, regardless. And whether you understand it or not, all relationships comes with heartbreak. All of them. Yeah, whether you're married, platonic, uh, romantic, um, business, they all end in heartbreak. And what I mean by that is that somebody's going to get hurt because you passed, because the relationship ended. Nobody walks away unscathed. So I guess the one thing I would try to pass on to you, as I would say to myself, is try to be easy, not only on yourself, but the people that are within your vicinity, because it's not just you here. Okay, what are your final thoughts? I'd love to know what you thought about this. We went a couple minutes over. Sorry, went a couple minutes over, but Jesse was on her bullshit tonight. We obviously had to calm her down. Calm it down, Jesse. Calm it down. I'm joking, but no, I would love to know what you guys thought about these, and let me ask you, because I know I've been asking, for the last 4 or 5 nights, which one of these have resonated with you? Which one of these have which one of these has someone done to you? Which one of these has somebody done to you and that you would never do to somebody else? Jesse, and that's why I fuck with you, Jesse. That's why I love you. She said, "Man, I'm always on that bullshit. Can't stop, won't stop." Buddy. Oh shit. I like that. I love high boundaries. I dig that. All right, what's up, you? Okay, and I remember there is about a 16-second delay, but I would love to know who's done on this cheat sheet. How many of these things has somebody done to you? That is that's pretty philosophical. Could you explain what you mean by that, Renita? She said, "My final thoughts." Love don't love nobody. So do you mean like love doesn't love anybody? People do. Oh wow. Jessica said all of them. My question was, how many of these has somebody done to you? Or which of these has somebody done to you? Okay, Jessica, let me ask you a question. How many of these things have you done to somebody else? How many of these things have you done to someone else? Jessie says I've been on both sides, but I won't ever do them again. I agree. She said I'll walk away before I feel the need to hurt someone. I agree. I agree. I agree. Jerry, my guy, says shit, all of them as well. Do you mean on both sides, Jerry? And Renita, I don't know if you're typing it in, please excuse me if you are, but I would love to understand what you meant by love don't love nobody. Yada, you still around here? Yada, if you're around here, how many of these things have happened to you? And how many of these things have you done to other people? Shauna, you still with me? What about you, Rebecca? I've I don't assume that you would have done some of these things, but I still gotta ask because the one thing that I've learned about doing this is that man, as much as we think that we know shit, we don't. We don't. As much as we think we know people, we don't. I, sh- I put her ass to sleep. No, actually, I know I didn't, because she said she was tired when she got on. Uh, I was like, oh man, I put her ass to sleep. Throughout my life, I'm sure I've done all of these. Okay, all of these one shot. All right, thank you for being honest, Jessica. I agree. I agree. I very much agree. You know what's so funny about that is that even the word friend, I don't even call people not everybody friends because not everybody's your friend. Not everybody's your friend. And she said, I love this. I'm sure she has, without true expression of it. No, I totally get that. She has had a long week dealing with parents. And yep, I get you, Renita. I totally understand that, man. I totally understand that. Okay. Well, like I said, all right, so we're probably going to wrap up here. I kept you guys a couple minutes past our allotted time. My kid's not here, so we can kind of turn up a little bit. But again, man, thank you guys for joining me on my 15th episode. 15th episode. Again, man, like I said, going back to hold on, I want to show y'all. Yeah, that's my writing. What my friend told me, 15 pieces, 15 days, 15 minutes live. 15 pieces, 15 days, 15 minutes. That's what inspired me to do what I'm doing right now. Okay? That 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 gave me that extra hump to get started. And I called Jessica and I said, "Hey, I don't know if anybody's ever going to be on this thing. Or will you do it with me? Will you just be in my ear?" She's like, "Yeah, I got you." I was like, "All right, go to Facebook. Just make sure that people can hear me and this, that, and the other." She's like, "All right, cool, I got you." You know. And now, I mean, I don't have her in my ear at all, so she's on here with y'all. So I appreciate you guys showing up. I appreciate you guys showing me some love, man. That's absolutely amazing. I truly appreciate it. I truly do. That was the whole round of applause, the merit, the kudos, the work that you put in, right? That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, I bid you adieu. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Good night.